Hey everybody, this is Perch, and I, I guess I just want to be honest with you for a minute. And this is going to be easy to dunk on as a video topic. I get it, but I'm being serious with this, at least from my perspective. I'm seeing a lot of comments in various places, on blogs, on social media, on other places, not on my videos, other places. And the crux of the comment is. Be positive, not negative. Negativity may get a little bit of attention, may get more attention, may get a little more attention. That's how it goes. But ultimately, it will consume you. Positivity is important, and then usually it's followed up by like a picture of a puppy or a heart or rainbow or something along those lines. And it's become an annoying statement for me. Not because it's wrong, because it is wrong on a bunch of different fronts, but not in the way it thinks. First off, I mean, let's people have to accept the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is negativity is not just a little more popular; it's significantly more popular, like 10x more popular. It is not lost on me, given the attention my channel is currently receiving for whatever the hell reason, that if I got really negative, if I started just, reaming certain things in comics, and there's always something to make fun of comics. This is kind of the other elephant in the room, is that, when you're producing 100 odd comics a week, there's going to be some stinkers in that pile. There's no way around that, you know? And it's you're always going to, things are going to age badly. Things are going to be, there may be a great idea and it just doesn't come off well, or maybe just a terrible idea and it comes off terrible. It's delivered as you would predict. But there's mountains of comics in the past, from decades of things that are clunky, things that haven't aged well, various shenanigans that have gone on, on the stage and behind the stage. There's plenty of elements that are negative. And if you wanted to, you could easily just talk about negative every single day and not have to invent it. Part of the myth is that the channels or the commentary that is negative is not legit. It's not real. That negativity is invented and fake. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Of course it happens. There's plenty of fake outrage. Case in point, the recent heavy metal outrage, at least the beginning of it, with, hey, the girl's got some armor on. Where'd the boobs go? That was an invented outrage. It was invented because on pages both before and after the outrage, there are boobs, plenty of them. So it's not that was a completely phony outrage. Now, I realize things went on after that, and as I've already said my piece on them. But negativity does better, flatly does better, and it's very easy to be kind of suckered in on that. And I do believe that if you are hardcore negative, meaning you invent negative when you don't have any, that it does become hard to sustain. I agree with that part of that statement too. The challenge is that there's this implied promise: be positive, and good things will come to you. Here's the ugly truth, and maybe this is kind of dad talk. This isn't the talk I'm ready to have with my daughters yet, but at some point, people who are telling you, "Hey, be positive," are not people who are going to show up to support you. That is one of the most disappointing aspects, and frankly, it's one of the reasons comics, social media, Twitter, YouTube has gotten the way it's gotten. Is because when people attempt to be positive, when there is positive things to talk about, by and large, the comics industry, the people inside comics, completely ignore it. And I can, from firsthand experience, I can post over and over posts about how creators should be paid more, that marketing should be better, that it's not fair that publishers pay a low rate and then expect the creators to do all the marketing, the promotion, that work for them. I can say, I believe all these things, by the way. I'm not saying them to kiss anybody's ass or to try and win myself a deal in comics. I am not interested in a pay cut to work in comics, bluntly. But I could be super positive. I can be an ally to all sorts of things and mean it. None of it's phony. You know what? I know it's irritated people on the other side, but yes, I believe that we should have diversity in content. Absolutely. I think it's smart from a business perspective. I do believe that a lot of creators got the short end of the stick where a lot of this is concerned. I do believe that a lot of the outrage is phony and manufactured and not fair. I do believe all these things. I have nothing again. Like I am up for trying new things as long as you do it well. I don't stand on we've got to keep things always the way they are. By all means, do new things. Just try and make them successful. I can do 50 videos like that, and I can do one video saying, "Hey, comics are too expensive," and immediately a handful of creators going, that's Comicsgate talking point. That guy's an alt-right supremacist. That's the kind of nonsense that goes on. And people can certainly, by all means, they can certainly call me whatever they want. It's their ball game. I'm not hung up on that. But what I am hung up on is if you say, why isn't there more positive content? I wish there was more positive content. Boy, it'd be nice if there was more positivity in comics. And then you don't show up the plate to actually help support that positive content. Then bluntly, you're not helping anything, and you're just making it up as you go. And unfortunately, if I'm being honest, really honest, that's where a lot of this comes from. If I want to be kind of truly, blunt about it all, comics is a club. It's a club that a lot of people work very hard to get into, and they should be proud of getting into the club. And there are many people in comics, not just a few, but many, who do try and hold out a helping hand to let other people in that club. They love comics, they appreciate it, they're happy to talk with people. That is definitely the majority. But there is a smaller group, smaller than majority, there's a smaller group that wants to keep the club to themselves. And they don't want people in that club. They certainly don't want people in that club that they worry may make more money than them, may disagree with them, and so they will do everything they can to keep people out of that club. Now, the truly sick, screwed up part about all this is that eventually some of the people who are trying to get into the club and were denied or were, that were not able to become part of it, got angry and made their own club. And at some point, sometimes they then, in their new club, decided to keep out others from the new club they created, and on it goes. And some people get disgruntled, create a new club and a new club, and this has been going on since the 90s. There were a group of comic creators who left, and they tried to do their own thing, and it was going to be about the creator, and then it became kind of about the money. And then some more independent groups came up, and they said, "We're going to do it, and we're going to have no gates, no barriers of people coming in. You can come in, and as long as you got a good story to tell, we'll help you tell it." And then as soon as they got a little bit of popularity, it became another club that people didn't want to have in. And so, again, you can do whatever you want. It's your business. It's your club. But if you're going to erect a little red velvet rope and keep people out of your club, you can't be particularly surprised, angry, or pissed when people who are not allowed in the club start to turn on you and get upset that they're not able to be in, that they're going to start to become upset that you're keeping them out. This is all this screwed up kind of environment around kind of negativity and positivity. You want to know why there's so many negative videos on YouTube? Well, number one, they make more money. Number two, people don't support the positive ones. It would be amazing if some of the big name comic creators would go to some of these channels and try and lead by example and maybe try and nudge people in the positive direction by over complimenting when a channel decides to do something noteworthy or positive. But no, instead, what typically happens is you get one strike. You can do 8,000 positive videos. You do one negative one that rubs somebody the wrong way, and you're done. But worse than that, those 8,000 positive videos will languish with 10 views, 20 views, etc. There's a guy, the guy who does the Word Balloon podcast. He does interviews. He's a decent guy. He's put out, solid stuff. He works hard. He gets a lot of guests on that channel to do things. And I think that any fair person watching those interviews would say, "Wow, that guy is very positive." However, his videos, his views get 20 people watching, He's got some of the biggest names in comics. 18 people, 20 people. I went in once and he had Tom Brevoort on. He had like 12 people watching this video. 12. And I started promoting it on Twitter. Hey, Tom Brevoort's in here. Come on in. We need more people in here. This is a guy everybody wants to talk to. Here it is, chance to talk to him directly. Here he is. And I don't know, we got the views up to like 30 or 40. I'm not a big influencer, but still, we doubled the views in like 5 minutes. Got people in there. What happens? I get notes saying, hey, I'd rather you not promote that. Why? Because I have some negative videos. Because you've complained at points about where the industry has done bad things, and I don't know that we should cross those over. Now, to be clear, this was not from Brevoort. It was not from the guy doing the word blow. This is from a concerned citizen. What do people want? Do you want positivity or do you want sycophants? Bluntly. Because I love comics. I want them to survive. I want them to grow. I want comics to be a giant bubble. Bubble, that's the wrong word. A giant group. I want nobody out of it. Nobody. I understand some people are miffed and pissed because they were blocked or kicked out of the group. And so they'd like some revenge. They'd like it, in turn, that person to be kicked out. I go a different direction. Everybody makes comics. We'll just, the market can decide what works. How about that? That's what I would like. If we want to be positive about comics, then we're going to have to show up and actually start supporting the positive people. I'm tired of seeing the posts and retweets and the little amen emojis. When somebody says something like, I wish there was more positivity instead of negativity, and then the positive content gets tumbleweeds of attention. If you want it, support it. That's what's got to happen. Apologize for being more, I don't know. I'm annoyed because I see a lot of good people, not me, people who are producing good content, people who are actually trying very hard to actually put out good solid work, spending hours, putting effort into their channel, and they are ignored or actively dismissed because they said the wrong thing at one point, and the wrong thing was usually just honest. I'm not talking about somebody who went on some kind of bender, some kind of racist, sexist tirade. I'm talking about somebody who said something like, comic books should be cheaper. That is not grounds to blow off what could be thousands of hours of good content. Anyway, thanks for listening.